Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rekakadash. Now, these people that's being exalted in this kingdom, they are being exalted, and it's an identification of who they are, because it was prophesied on who was going to be exalted. Now, this first scripture I'm going to pull is Romans 9. Now, Romans chapter 9 is breaking down a lot, and mainly it's focusing on Jacob and Esau. So when you get to verse 13 in Romans 9, it says, as it is written in the book of Malachi, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. So you go down, once he's explaining, is it right for him to judge Esau because he made Esau a vessel of dishonor and a vessel created to destroy, or a vessel created for destruction. In verse 17 it says, for the scripture says unto Pharaoh, and he's comparing Pharaoh or Esau with Pharaoh of Egypt. He said, even for this same purpose have I raised thee up, that I might show my power in thee, and that my name might be declared throughout all the earth. So he raised these Edomites up, the children of Esau. He raised them up so he can show his power, you see, because he has a plan. And when you jump back up to verse 11, it say, for the children being not yet born, speaking of Jacob and Esau, neither having done any good or evil, that the purpose of God according to election might stand, not of works, but of him that calleth. So he put these people in for a specific purpose. The role that they're playing, he's making them play this role for a specific purpose. Now, let's look at the role that he's making these people play, plus identify some of the attributes of these Edomites. But that's not the only precept. Let's go to Daniel, talking about raising somebody up. Daniel chapter 4, verse 17. Verse 17, it say, this matter is by the decree of the watchers, and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whosoever he will, and set it up over it the basis of men. So there again, he says he's setting up the basis of men. And so that's pretty much letting you know who is the basis of men. Now when you go to let's do Psalms chapter 12. Psalms chapter 12, verse 8. It says, the wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. The wicked walk on every side when the vilest men are exalted. So you see these super rich elite, they are exalted, but they are from the house of Esau, and they are the vilest of men, the base men. Now we're gonna go to Job to put all these pieces together But before we go to Job, let's find out who is Job talking about. But not who is he talking about, but where was the whole situation with Job going on? Let's go to Lamentation. Lamentation chapter 4, it says in verse 21, Lamentations 4:21, rejoice and be glad, O daughter of Edom, that dwelleth in the land of Uz. So the Edomites dwell in the land of Uz. And Job, let's get Job. Job was in the land of Uz. Job 1:1, it tells you straight from the beginning. And you gotta get your King James Bible because these Edomites try to hide the fact that the book of Job was about the Edomites. It say, there was a man in the land of Uz, and his name was Job. You see, so the Edomites dwelt in the land of Uz. And let's see what Job had to say about them. Let's go to verse 9. Chapter 9 in Job. Chapter 9 in Job. Verse 21 say the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So when Daniel say the base man would be raised up or set up over the kingdom, and like Apostle Paul and Romans was saying he was going to raise these Edomites up to show his power. And so Job is saying the same thing, that the earth was given into the hand of these Edomites, and he called them the wicked. He certified them to be the wicked. But he also talked about them in chapter let's go to 18 real quick since I'm right here. He said, wherefore, chapter 18 of Job, verse 3, wherefore are we counted as beasts and reputed vile in your sight. So when you hear Revelation talk about the beast, you get an understanding. They're talking about the vile men of the earth that was set up over the earth to rule over the earth. Now let's go to, let's see here, Job chapter 30. Because he gets into these people character something serious. Job chapter 30. And let's just jump right into it in verse 8. Job chapter 30 verse 8. He say, they were children of fools, yeah, children of base men. Like in Daniel, he say he set up base men over the kingdom. And then it goes on to say in Job 30 verse 8, it say they were viler than the earth. You see, so these Edomites was viler than the earth, children of fools, children of base men. They're fools, they're base, they're vile. And Job 18:3 say they are like beasts. And so that goes along with the dragon and the beast in Revelation. It's talking about the nation of Edom that God set up over to rule so he could show his power when he defeat them, because they're a powerful nation. You see, they're going to be a powerful nation, and when he defeat them like he did Pharaoh, is going to proclaim his name throughout all the earth. So these wicked rich elite that got billions of dollars that's trying to promote their wickedness and do wickedness on the earth is just going along with the plans of the Most High, so he can defeat them and show his power. But I'm going to leave it there. All praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Mikakadash. Double honors to the elders pushing the truth. Peace to the elect worldwide. Our kingdom is at hand. Shalom.